All right, here we go again. I got a little confused there. What I did is I don't know. I got like two calendar apps, and the one calendar app didn't jive with the other calendar app, and I think I'm fine. I don't have to get going here in a little bit. I'm thankful for custom orthotics, but the process is you got to go in and twice, and they got to be fitted and checked out, and then mm, mm. It might be the weather too. Beginning to believe that some of it's weather related because the temperature dropped, and I'm not as well as I was yesterday. But then again, it could be a matter of just taking a Epsom salt bath, right, and that kind of thing. Definitely, the interference in moving to an apartment caused me to move to an apartment without a bathtub. I have like a vinyl one I have that I can set up, but it's still not the same. Very inconvenient. But again, I should have just got out of here after a year and found another apartment in the minimum. I just couldn't get to it. I was being, it kind of hinted to move down to 159th. So again, hopefully the steroid treatment and the warmer weather can get me somewhere. No, I remember, I'm going back in time, and I remember in Naples, when I got to Santa Fe, there was a lot of inflammation, not just, the lower lumbar, is all over the body, including the arms and everything. And they were able to work that out. But I had to get the steroid treatment and then massage and heal. Hopefully, I can get through that again. Trying to get this all to go again. Yeah, the adjustment of lumbar, I don't know for sure. Again, you don't know until you get that done. If it's cramping due to the lumbar, yes, but it doesn't always have to be that. But again, it appears to be that because I got it released pretty good, and then I tried to irritate the back, and it didn't happen. It didn't cramp up. So, or maybe I had it cooled enough. Who knows? Yeah, I canceled one of my massage places. They didn't seem like bad people. It was just strange. It's like really strange over there. So I was like, it just was a little bit cold, like where I don't know. I mean, I don't expect people to fawn over me or anything. It just was like it's like mechanical, right? It's like I don't. I actually had a worse experience at the other massage place, but again, I went to another massage therapist that was great, and the reception there was not was it wasn't as nice. It just wasn't as mechanical. I'm just like it just didn't feel right at all. Yeah, my concern is that I don't have issue in the neck, and I had it released and I was moving my neck around and all that, and I didn't have anything, and now I got like a crick in my neck, but that's not from any type of nerve or something. Yeah, yeah. It tightened up while I was walking here, so that's generally most likely lower lumbar. And then actually, what destroys the lower lumbar over time because it tightens up. Like I said, I couldn't figure it out, and I did the best I could, and I really did a lot of different modalities to get it well, and then they fought every bit of it. Like they see you buy Epsom salt, they watch you go to massage, and they curse it first and will it down. And if that doesn't work, then they insert their people, which they did. Like in this case, if I had a bathtub, I probably would have took a bath instead of a shower. This thing's falling apart because you have to tape it together to stay together. And again, they're a scam to a certain degree. Yeah, like yesterday, it was cold, but walking around the apartment didn't have those cold spots. Like today, there's cold spots. Like in the kitchen, it's really cold. Like it, but thank God during this time of year we get the tax refund, and I was able to sell some microphones yesterday for a few $100s and be able to put that back in my bank account. So again, that comedian, he's just that's sentiment. That's the way sometimes it comes out because people are afraid to speak about it because they don't want to be targeted as being anti-billionaire or anything like that. Well, when I was raging at Elon, I was looking for radicalization, somebody trying to radicalize me. I just some weird off emails, but they could be standard. I always get emails with Elon's name on it, but I mean it's spam, but it gets through the spam filter, which that's concerning. As that's what they would do, spies trying to. And the messaging, yeah, this is the other thing I was saying. The messaging on the peace plan is a little confusing. Yeah, I mean, do what you want, but the messaging is a little confusing. Yeah, I thought yeah, I would say the cramping is from the lower lumbar, from what I'm seeing right now. But it's not that it's cramped, but it's not that intense cramping. And again, the steroid should relax that, but even if it doesn't, it'll be less intense. Right? It'll be more of a firmness. I don't know. My back was cramping up so tight. I have no idea what was causing it. Definitely feeling better. Not not completely out of it, right, but feeling a little bit better. Hopefully, I can get to something comfortable that I can go through the planning stages of surgery or whatever it's going to be. I think at this point it has to be surgery, unless I let my back completely cramp up again. And I think I was starting to have health issues off of that outside of the cramping. That's probably why my blood pressure went up. So that's the key. When my back was released, my blood pressure was down. My back was cramped. My blood pressure's up. Yeah, all that medicine, I lost focus on my supplement routine. I used to eat the Beyond Meat products all the time, and that's pea protein, not soy. But they disappeared pretty much, and they went up in price. You can't get Beyond Chicken anymore. My back's cramped. I probably have a better steady walk, but do I? I don't want that. I don't think it's healthy because I don't want other discs or whatever to go. Now, there's a way to test whether it's cramping from the lower lumbar, and that's to do the ablation procedure. But I think once it releases, then that nerve is going to pinch it, so it's not actually a viable procedure. But maybe they'll want to see how that works. Right? Well, they can kill that nerve by numbing it. That's the test for it before they burn it out or whatever radio wave it out. Right? And they do that so that they can be sure that it'll work. But when they release it, it's probably going to pinch that nerve and right. Because right now my back kind of from walking around this morning, the back's kind of tight, and I can tell like I have a better walk. It's not perfect, but much better. No, I was looking at the wrong date or something on the calendar. But these are well, actually no, it doesn't make any sense. To tell you the truth. Well, because it doesn't even matter. Be glad to get these other orthotics and see how they do. And that could be part of it too. No, it's funny because I could see all the movement to get me to massage early, like in Naples. Like I was so close to getting to massage at a certain yoga studio, and for some reason, I stopped going. So again, there's this thing behind the scenes, and I'm not figuring it out. But definitely receiving pushback on these appointments. So somebody's minding me away from the appointments. And it's weird because I do have my Beyond Meat products, but I shifted to a different. So somebody could have minded that actually. Mind your own business. Mind over matter. It's all in there. So I wonder what kind of snow we're going to get. Might not get much, I guess. This should be the last hurrah for this winter season. Yeah, that left leg is a little on the weak side. I think the right's affected also a little bit. When I was in, but when I was in Amarillo, it was really weak, and the gait was like really much limpier. Like if I had a wife, she probably would have figured this all out for me, and of course in her life, I'd have figured out things for her. Now, hopefully, God can get this day structured right, and hopefully, when I come back from massage, or not massage from from the pain management guy and all that, I don't think he's going to do a procedure today. I think it's going to be initial, observation type stuff. I have an old MRI, so he might opt to do some procedure soon, or one additional stuff. I don't know. I just, when I went to it in Amarillo, it was definitely under hostile conditions, so it didn't work. A lot of wasted energy there. And I didn't even get to orthotics. And when I got to Tyler right before I left, I said podiatrist. It finally clicked, and I called a podiatrist, got an appointment, got some orthotics, and I think that's what allowed it to relax a little bit. But I wasn't seeing anything on my body as to relational what was happening. And if I could have got to massage 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago in Oklahoma City, I probably would have seen better. And then I could have moved in a different way. I wouldn't have moved here, that's for sure. I would have moved closer to surgeons. Now, my brother Steve said there's good surgeons in Dallas, but that's where that guy messed up that surgery. But again, there's good surgeons and bad surgeons. The idea of messing it up that bad is probably slim to none. But I don't think he was doing a fusion, because I don't. It's very doubtful a fusion would do that. It sounds like he tried to do like a delamination or something, and then screwed it up, which is what the one surgeon wanted in my case. But if it's causing back cramping because of those two nerves, so he was wrong. It took me, I didn't know then. Again, I intuitively it said two doctors said fusion, one doctor said, to just clean it out. But if he cleans it out, it should still cause the cramping, which is why the other two probably opted for fusion. Or fusing, I guess you say fusion. So I did feel a little bit better yesterday than I do today, but it could be that temperature dropping. Well, we have this car out here that was an abandoned car, and now it's not an abandoned car anymore. Somebody took the sticker off, but it's still sitting there. I don't know if it's somebody's car or what. I mean, it doesn't look like anybody. I mean, it looks like it's a car that's just could be a stolen car too, right? And it's backed into the spot, which I'll go look to see if it doesn't have a front license plate. I'm gonna call Popo and just let them know it's here, and maybe they want to run and check on it. But my question was it stolen off the highway and put here? Because it looked like it was an abandoned highway vehicle or something like that. I think the abandonment was on a highway. Now that sticker's gone. So let's see what we got on heat here. This one's up a bit, got it up a degree, but it's getting a little warmer outside, right? Yeah, it's getting warmer outside, it's starting to warm up in here, but of course we know. And then I have an extra heater just in case, because I think I'm just going to change that one out. Well, I'd rather pay an extra $20 in heat than freezing this year. Well, my back's a little cramped, and the way I'm walking is similar to where I was the last few years, but not exact. It's just, a lot of panic, and I was being panicked also. I mean, they look free to heal, and then they start it up again. Like I think some of this cramping is causing an issue with the drainage and the congestion. So again, that's another thing that I was looking at reducing. Yeah, if I was in Oklahoma City and I was looking at needing surgery, I would not come here. So I would have moved somewhere else. Which means, I don't know if I'm gonna have to move out of here. It doesn't make sense for me to stay here. Well, I'm not sure. The microphones I sold, or I should have sold long ago anyway, but it came in handy. Praise the Lord. So, as far as getting rid of all this stuff, I was kind of looking at that, but I don't know if I'm there right now. But again, I don't know um, whether Kansas City is a place to do this surgery or not. Looking back, it was a perfect timing because I wouldn't do the surgery till spring. It would have been perfect timing. Do the surgery when it was a little warmer, and then heal through the warmer months. So it would have been a different 4 years, but if it would have taken care of my issue, you know, more power to it. No, if I could have seen, again, I look back at when I was getting those massages, I have no clue. I could have actually, if I didn't know my disability and what it was doing, I could have focused on it and realized, the body a little bit better. But again, that's what they're doing. They're there to confuse. Now, if if I was if that was a normal thing that happened at Massage Envy, that franchise, that guy wouldn't have come into Sprouts every time I went in. The alleged owner. I don't even know it was the owner. For like, I don't know, Till I finally said, something. I forget what I said, and then he stopped. I think they want to make it look like it's just simply a gay guy trying to pick me up, and was doing something like maybe the thing was that they wanted me gay, and if I would do it, then they would stop doing that to me. I guess I don't know, but that was the push. Or maybe they wanted me to say that to say I'm anti-gay or whatever it is they were doing. Right. Well, because he obviously was making eyes at me when I came in there prior to that. And again, you don't see anybody ever from the massage place. And then all of a sudden you see two in a couple of weeks, they're doing something. Again, they're trying to say it's paranoid, but it's not. It's obvious something was going on. I try to ignore it because I just want massage. You know what I'm saying? I'm a guy in the right. I'm just trying to get in there and get massage. And he never did say what was wrong. I said, if there was a problem, why didn't you tell me something so I could act differently? And he just kind of blew that off. And I said, you yourself came to the door of your office every time I walked in. I mean, why didn't you say something to me? And I wanted to let him know that But again, if they're being paid by USAID or something else, a couple $100 million here and there, they don't care, or even a few million. Right? And being told by the FBI they're okay, or the FBI is part of it. I've been trying to get rid of these cast iron frying pans for about a year now because they're just ungodly heavy. Even when I was younger, I was thinking, the part I didn't like, they're so darn heavy. I finally got rid of them. I wasn't even healed yet when I got rid of them. Like I healed yesterday a lot. Just took them out in a trash bag and threw them away. And I was like blocked from getting the other fry pan. All right, so what I would do is I would again try to tone it down, try to get it, uh, argue the law, don't argue emotional things, don't attack the judiciary. I think they're seeing false movement in the judiciary based upon the attacks. In other words, I mean, we all can see it like this. I'm not saying they're any different than anyone else. They see the judiciary opposing them. They threaten the judiciary, and then there's some sort of change. That doesn't mean that they back down. I mean, they're going through the law again. Look at what Ken Paxton, Mr. Bailey, Mr. Kobach. Look at the process they engage in. You'll see the same patterns. But they again didn't say much about liberal judges, I guess, or maybe they did. I don't know. Well, because what you want to do, even the Democrats do the same thing. Democratic Party. Oh, actually, no. I guess it's the same thing, right? As I'm saying, the Biden administration got hit by those attorney generals, and they got hit with restraining orders, and even some of them they got, they prevailed. Well, that's how you want to act. Just like it's, again, there is activism, and that one judge is obviously a liberal, but that doesn't mean that judge is wrong. I mean, for you, he's wrong, but it doesn't mean legally that he's wrong. Well, it's just everybody has to go to court around this thing. And we have to be friends with the judiciary. We can't be enemies. Well, there's a court system. And that court system should allow, something to prevail, something, of jurisprudence to prevail. Again, you go through several layers, and if it doesn't, that's the best we have and the best in the world, most likely. Well, like I said, when we get down to it, there's a pattern of practice being set, and that pattern of practice looks like retaliation. So when you do that, judges that are activists, they become, whether they are activists or not, they become empowered, right? Or again, whether it's activism or not. Well, I don't see that you have this, like, again, Elon's arguing this idea where it's a democracy, so nothing should be able to say anything about what the president's doing. But I don't see that being valid. Well, it's just a process, and again, Ken Paxton prevailed. All those attorney generals prevailed against the Biden administration, and the Biden administration didn't threaten the judges. I think they said pack the court or something. But I even said that. Well, my problem with Roe versus Wade is I think it was done inappropriately. I think it should have been phased in. But again, at this point, it would have been moot anyway. Well, I believe there was the court gave people false hope there. And again, I'm not pro-abortion. But I know the system takes time to repair things. So I thought the court should have gave the system time to react to it. Now, again, obviously, Donald Trump was elected, so the outcome would have been the outcome. Well, realistically, if you're a Christian, the only thing that's going to work is spiritual movement. And the physical movement is not without issue. I actually have to get going here in a few minutes. I'm going to eat something, get myself together, and hit the road to get to a certain doctor. Well, the answer is absolute morality of no sex for anything other than procreation. But it's a very difficult process for most people based upon hormonal things. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.